This 2013 coverage is brought to you by Ultrient High Performance Nutrients. Okay.
Hey, by the way, I didn't like the way last night the wind was coming in.
Yeah, it was.
And my hair was like...
Yeah, I know, you fixed it out.
Your hair was way you was cutting in there. Look at it. Look at it. It's all funky now.
Says you, Alfonso, that was poking up halfway through.
Fucking we're recording, bitches.
Okay, we're recording. Hey guys, welcome to the RX Reviews coverage of the 2013 CrossFit Games brought to you by Ultrient High Performance Nutrient. I'm John Michael and this is Michael McCoy, and we are out at the front of the StubHub Center on what has been a very entertaining day 2 action, and where, Mikey, once again, the crowd was a talking point.
Yeah, John, it was absolutely spectacular down here. I mean, last year I said the most interesting feature of coming down to the CrossFit Games was seeing the young kids chasing around Jason Kalipa, Chris Spierling, trying to get autographs. But what I found more interesting today was seeing grown men and women coming down and getting autographs from pretty much everyone that's been on CrossFit before.
Yeah, and we can expect the crowds to get even bigger tomorrow with, of course, weekend hitting California and the rest of the world for that fact. And of course, I was in Tent City today, Mikey, a lot bigger than it was last year. There's a massive beer garden with TV screens showing the games everywhere. So look, a lot of fan experiences happening here, which is a much improvement on last year and fantastic for the sport itself. But let's move straight to the leaderboards, where a lot of changes have happened over the past day with 3 events taking place here at the StubHub Center. Let's go straight to the females division, where things are definitely starting to tighten up, and we have a new leader, Michael. Her name is Christy Phillips. What can you tell me about her?
Yeah, I think Christy Phillips is one that people weren't talking a lot about this year. I mean, Elizabeth Akinwale, she came up quite a lot. I mean, she's a great competitor, but, when those endurance events kicked in, I didn't think she'd be able to hold it. One pick that I didn't mention yesterday, exactly the name you just mentioned, was Christy Phillips. I mean, she is a former 5-time games competitor, and I believe she finished was at 11th last year. 11th. So she's doing spectacularly well, and this might be her year.
Yeah, I was speaking to Kelly Starrett today from Mobility Ward, and surprisingly I asked him who he thinks was going to win the 2013 CrossFit Games. Christy Phillips was the answer, so K-Star knows his stuff. Anyway, Sam Briggs started the day on top of the leaderboard, and after finishing 3rd in the burden run, she moved even further ahead, but struggled in the last 2 events, but is still second, still within striking distance. Go further down the leaderboard, you've got Talana Fortunato, last year's podium finisher in 9th place. You've got Lindsay Valenzuela, Cara Webb also in the top 15, so a lot of people there that have the potential to win the CrossFit Games. But if you go a little bit further down the leaderboard, Kristen Clever, the 2010 Games champion, struggling in 35th position. Of course, she has an ankle injury she's worrying about. But 34th position, really struggling, Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet.
Yeah, absolute shock going into this year. I mean, the preparation seemed to be all there. I mean, when she threw down in the open workouts, I mean, she absolutely dominated. No one would ever suspect to see that her drop so far down. I think day 1 she had like a 30th or so, and I thought she might be able to recover today, but we just have not seen that really come to fruition. So, there's still a little bit of time, but I really think her 2013 season, if I get that right, is it's looking pretty much it's over if she's going to try and get into that top 10.
Yeah, look, it's hard from here. Look, it's never too late in CrossFit, but look, at this stage with only 5 events remaining, it looks like she's probably a bit too far down the leaderboard. Let's go to the men's division, though, where Jason Kalipa is still on top of the leaderboard. He came out today, won the very first event, struggled in the last 2, you could say, but he's still on top by a few points to his training partner, Garrett Fisher. And then in 3rd place, Rich Froning, the winner of the last 2 CrossFit Games, just within striking distance, slowly moving up the leaderboard, Mikey.
Yeah, again, he did this pretty much exactly the same last year. I mean, it was just consistent all throughout the weekend. I said it yesterday, consistency pays, and we've seen that, he's primed to get back in that top spot. However, I really want to point out Jason Kalipa, spectacular performer. I mean, you cannot break this man down. I mean, if we all remember what happened when they were back at the ranch in that event many years ago, when he fell down when they went on the long run. I mean,
duration that got seen by the medics.
But you cannot break this man. And to see the way he's come in this season, I mean, he really is primed to take it out this year. Again, after watching him today on that rope climb, I mean, we're talking about a big man climbing up and down. He didn't do spectacularly well, but I was impressed with his performance.
Yeah, now, apart from Froning, there's plenty of other people in the top 15 at this stage. We've got Ben Smith, of course, Scott Panchik, who finished 4th last year, and Josh Bridges, who's now in 15th position. Didn't do too well in the first 2 events, but won the last one, the legless rope climbs and thrusters. Amazing performance by the man, Josh Bridges. He really needed to win that one. He dominated those rope climbs without using his legs at all, finishing, a world record time, you could say. Is he still a chance of winning?
Absolutely, John. I mean, going into this year, I actually picked him, 1, 2, or 3. I wasn't exactly sure where he'd placed. Taking that year off last year when he went back onto military service, that generally, that means he's lacking that match game experience. I mean, could a little bit of ring rust come into effect? We don't know. I mean, I thought on day 1 that seemed to appear, but he's looking very good at the moment. I mean, really the competition starts tomorrow.
That's right, and let's talk about tomorrow. We've got 3 events taking place, 2 of which we know, and of course, the surprise of CrossFit means we don't know the final event of day 3. But the first event's going to be Naughty Nancy, which includes, of course, the run around the StubHub Center, and then, of course, everyone loves a ladder, the clean and jerk ladder. They're bringing back a ladder at the games tomorrow. Mikey, who's your tip for the clean and jerk ladder tomorrow in both divisions?
I'm going to go out here and say my man Neil Maddox is going to take this one out. I mean, he did spectacularly well last year. Was it on the clean?
Ladder, yep.
He took that out. Not many people thought that. I'm going to pick him. I mean, a lot of people are saying Froning. I mean, he's got spectacular O-lifting and Kalipa a chance, but I'm going to say Neil Maddox.
Yeah, I think that after that event, you won't see too much change with the leaderboard. I think Kalipa and Froning will be staying thereabouts. And of course, Neil Maddox, yep, he dominated that clean ladder last year, so he'll definitely be up there. In terms of the female division, I'm thinking Elizabeth Akinwale and Lindsay Valenzuela are the 2 that we will watch out for. Of course, they were the 2 that completed the clean ladder last year, so watch out for those 2 ladies. They're absolute dynamite when it comes to O-lifting. And of course, we'll give you all the information tomorrow night on what's happening here at the StubHub Center for day 3 of the CrossFit Games. And for all the updates and to see all the interviews with all the athletes, make sure you check out our website, www.therxreview.com. And once again, thanks to Ultra and High Performance Nutrients for making this one possible.
I would have actually liked to put in like my thoughts on who could win the female.
Oh, who would you like to win? Stuff, yeah.